Ήταν το έτος 1946, αμέσως μετά τον Δεύτερο Παγκόσμιο Πόλεμο. Ο τόπος ήταν η Κύπρος. Το ξεφόρτωμα μεταναστών σε στρατόπεδα κράτησης Εβραίων κοντά στην Αμμόχωστον και τη Λάρνακα θα σηματοδοτούσε μια αξιοσημείωτη περίοδο της κυπριακής ιστορίας διάρκειας 3,5 χρόνων. Έχεις κι εσύ να διηγηθείς κάποια ιστορία?
My name is Chryso and I come from a small village in the north part of Cyprus. I was watching Papu. He was a farmer having a big farms of big land of watermelons. So they were very refreshing. I was around six and a half years old. Papu took me on his lap. And I still remember that moment, even though decades have passed since that time. He took me on his lap like this and he told me, Chryso, I want to tell you a story, he said. He told me, I want to introduce you to a people that you never met before or you don't know because you're too young. They are the Jewish people. I said, oh yes, I know about the Jewish people. I said, because Jesus was Jewish. So I could make some kind of connection. And then he said, yes, but there is something you don't know, he said, about these people. He said that when the Holocaust finished, these people, they tried to go back to their land and they were not able to enter. The British command turned them back from their ship. And the closest place they could go back was Cyprus. So they bring them back to Cyprus. There was quite a few thousand of them, and since they had nowhere else to put them, they erected very quickly some camps, which were it was so quickly erected, and the heat was so much, the conditions were not so good, but nonetheless it was a place where these people could stay temporarily until their visas were sorted out. And there was a camp in particular, which was called Karaolas. My Papu would visit very often. He said, well, since I was an itinerant salesperson of watermelon, I would grab my helper. He had a truck, a big truck that he used to fill it up with watermelons. And he made sure that part of this trip would include Karaolas. And that was his own initiative because he would hear from other Cypriot people that they were moved with compassion and they wanted to help these people. And he felt that since there was so much heat and they were living in this kind of tents that were making things even more difficult for them, there was no refreshing, he felt that by giving watermelons, he would refresh the people. So he would make it into his weekly schedule to give watermelons free of charge. He said that the authorities there would create absolutely no problem to do that. They were very tolerant. They didn't really want to make the life of the detainees harder. It's just that the situation was like that, the whole situation that was hard. So they were not allowed to enter the camps, but there were some kind of fences. He didn't tell me exactly how the fences were, but somehow they would make sure the people would get these fences, these watermelons in the fences, from outside in the fences, and people were flogging there so they get some free watermelons to get refreshed. The way my grandfather talked was like he and the other Cypriot people that were going there to help, I understood that Cypriot people were going there to help in different ways. He didn't say how, but it was like a lot of them. And it was like their hearts were stirred to help and alleviate as much as they could the suffering of the people because they felt that it was enough that they already came from, a lot of them had come from the Holocaust concentration camps, and now they were forced again to spend some more time in the camps, which I understood later that it turned out to be approximately 3 to 4 years. They made it a point to help and contribute. So that was his story. But he ended his story with a very significant statement that stood with me. He said to me, "Chriso, when you grow up, research these people. And you need to find more about these people. You need to learn more about these people, and you need to connect with these people because they really suffered a lot." He didn't say Evrei, which is the Greek name of the Jewish people. He said Ovrei. Find out about Ovrei, which was the slang word of Evrei. But it was a slang word that it was communicated to me with compassion. And later on, when I became really educated about the history of the Jewish people, etc., I could connect the emotion that came from him with a verse from the scriptures, from the Old Testament that said, I believe it's in Prophet Isaiah, that said, "Comfort ye my people." And it came through him, it was almost like a command, "Chriso, find these people, research these people, get to know these people." Or my Bapu was a very sensitive man, very compassionate man, and he was able to put this compassion, the way he helped the Jewish people, through what he knew, through the limited means he had at that time. So what happened afterwards, this short conversation I had with Papu and his testimony impacted my life and set in motion many events that followed later.
Μεταξύ του 1946 και του 1949, πάνω από 51.000 αισιόδοξοι Εβραίοι, οι οποίοι είχαν φύγει από την Ευρώπη μετά το ολοκαύτωμα με τον προορισμό της γης της Επαγγελίας στην Παλαιστίνη, εγκλείστηκαν σε στρατόπεδα κράτησης στην Κύπρο, στον Καράολο και στη Xylotymbou. Αυτό το σχετικά άγνωστο κομμάτι της κυπριακής ιστορίας μπορεί σύντομα να ξεχαστεί για πάντα. Όσοι μπορεί να θυμούνται κάτι σχετικό από την παιδική τους ηλικία, είναι σχεδόν 80 χρονών ή μεγαλύτεροι. Είσαι κάποιος που θυμάται? Είσαι κάποιος στον οποίο οι γονείς ή οι παππούδες του διηγήθηκαν την ιστορία τους? Είσαι πρόθυμος να μοιραστείς την ιστορία αυτή, διαφυλάσσοντας έτσι ένα σημαντικό κομμάτι της κυπριακής ιστορίας?